And Veronica Pedrosa, who also joins us from Geneva. And thank you so much, Veronica, for joining us. And you have interviewed Aung San Suu Kyi several times. You've also covered the Rohingya refugee crisis. What did you make of Aung San Suu Kyi's remarks today at The Hague?
Well, it was a kind of visual and emotional shock to see a woman who was rewarded, and I quote, for her non-violent struggle for democracy and human rights, here defending the very regime that deprived her of freedom for nearly 15 of 21 years by placing her under house arrest. She was somebody who was seen as a beacon for human rights, somebody who called on the rest of the world to rally behind her, to use our freedom to back up the need for freedom in Burma. However, during her time, the number of political prisoners has gone up. And here she is engaging in a kind of legal acrobatics, technicalities, to try and rid Myanmar of being labeled with a genocidal brush. However, let's see how the ICJ takes this on, because it is very much an arguable thing that she's putting forward.
And we just heard my colleague interviewing a former prisoner from Myanmar who said Aung San Suu Kyi used to be our hero. Talk to me about the trajectory of this lady.
You know, for many of us growing up as female in Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia, looking like I do, there weren't many role models for human rights who are women, for freedom, for democracy. And the region continues to be challenged on that front. So when Aung San Suu Kyi's accommodation of conflict, of human rights abuses, of possible crimes against humanity, when that became apparent, it's really an existential disappointment. Somebody who was supposed to be watching our backs as we had watched her back when she was in prison, completely betrayed that sense. But it's something that some people, including biographers, have seen as in her makeup from the start, in the sense that she was the daughter of a military man who eventually became the national hero, of course, Aung San, and it is for that reason that she has so much popularity and respect in the country. However, she has always said that she wanted to back up the military because her father was a military man. And then as she was freed in November of 2010, at first she was talking about activities towards accountability, for example, an international court that might have brought to account the people who had waged this immense repression in the country during the military regime. However, that came to nothing. And she now lives in a house in Naypyidaw, which is the kind of purpose-built capital in Myanmar, surrounded by the generals. And it seems that she has made her choice. She is lying in bed with the generals, and she is making the most of it. She is even promoting their views in the view of the international community, as we've seen in the last few hours.
Veronica, it's been a pleasure to hear you lay everything out so beautifully for us. Veronica Pedrosa joining us now from Geneva. Thank you.